Coming right up, Straight Talk with Art Levine. Our guest tonight, Matt Sloustcher, Public Relations Manager for Acura, and Jim Michaelian, President, CEO of the Grand Prix Association of Long Beach, as we continue our 26th anniversary year.
Straight Talk is brought to you in part by the Port of Long Beach, a leader in international trade and environmental stewardship. And the Press Telegram, your local news leader for over 100 years. And Scan Health Plan, for your health and independence.
Join us for tonight's edition of Straight Talk. And now your host, Art Levine.
Good evening and welcome to Straight Talk. We have a wonderful show for you tonight, focused on the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. Our first guest is Matt Sloustcher, who is the Public Relations Manager for Acura. Welcome to our show. Welcome to Long Beach. There must be a lot of excitement at Acura about this new relationship.
We couldn't be more excited. You should see the enthusiasm back at headquarters about this.
Was it a shock, a surprise to the 3,000 associates that are there?
Well, Acura is a performance brand. Legend, Integra, NSX, those are nameplates that people associate with the Acura brand. And we've made a significant investment in motorsports since the inception of the brand. So I think it wasn't a shock, but it was a welcome surprise.
Just for the record, when was the brand established, Acura?
1987, 32 years ago.
32 years ago. And of course, Honda has been in Torrance, in town, we call it, for a long time.
Yeah, Acura is the luxury and performance division of Honda. Honda's our corporate parent. It's a wonderful association. Honda has the largest breadth of motorsports portfolio in the entire automotive industry. And Acura, born from Acura, motorsports is a part of our DNA. This year marks the 60th anniversary that American Honda is celebrating. We've been a part of the Southern California community for 60 years. We started as a small motorcycle distributor on Pico Boulevard, and we now have more than 3,000 associates here in Southern California.
And you mentioned that it's both automotive and luxury. Many of your competitors, they have a luxury car at the top of the pyramid, but they don't have that performance in it.
Yeah, our flagship is the NSX, mid-engine supercar. That's our flagship.
That starts at a cool 150,000 or so.
That's right.
And they're all made to order.
They're all made to order. It's the only supercar made in America, right outside Marysville, Ohio.
And just speaking of USA made, 5 of your 6 brands are made here in the United States, in Ohio, as opposed to abroad.
That's right. 5 of our 6 models we sell in America are made in America. Over 99% of our production by volume, which is something we're really proud of.
Well, yeah, and everyone thanks you for that contribution to our economic growth. Okay, let's get to the bottom. First question, why did Acura decide to come aboard as a title sponsor of this Grand Prix?
Well, again, we're a performance brand. We've been racing since the very earliest days of the brand. We've got a lot of associates here in Southern California. It's not every day that an opportunity arises to associate our brand with the most iconic street course in America. When you combine that synergy with what Jim Michaelian and his team have done with the Grand Prix of Long Beach through the years, it's really quite a match made in heaven for us.
Well, the role of the Acura continues to expand, and let me ask you, what engagement do you plan to have with the dealers?
So we've got 20 dealer partners here in Southern California, and they couldn't be more excited about the opportunity at the Grand Prix of Long Beach. Right now, they're promoting the event heavily in their stores. Customers can visit an Acura dealership and test drive a car or service their existing car and have an opportunity to participate in the event.
Compare the Grand Prix with other events and entities that the Acura brand is associated with, such as the Hollywood Bowl and the Sundance Film Festival.
Sure. So there's sort of two tracks to the properties that we sponsor. One is art and entertainment and music and creativity. Sundance Film Festival, the Hollywood Bowl, the Jazz Fest in New Orleans. Those are properties that really support artistry and artists. Our artistry is very important to our brand. The other is competition. You know, we're a challenger brand. We were the first luxury automaker from a Japanese nameplate. So we came in when luxury was associated with traditional European luxury marks.
Yes.
So we're a challenger. And so motorsports and competition is a great avenue to express your challenging spirit. and that's why we like competing on the track. And we compete with the products that we sell in the showroom. So the ARX-05, which we're going to be competing with Team Penske here at the Grand Prix, that is the same engine that powers the current generation TLX and MDX, more or less as a base model. So we compete with what customers can purchase.
Absolutely. And how does Acura fit into the whole Honda lineup? Honda's a giant corporation. Acura's part of that, an important part of that, but still there are many other elements to Honda.
Yeah, Honda, one of the special things about Honda is the breadth of its operations. Honda makes everything from jets to some of the most wonderful automobiles in the world, to lawnmowers and power equipment, and is the largest motorcycle and engine manufacturer by volume in the entire world. Acura, in the automobile side of Honda, is the luxury division, and it's really the tip of the spear, where we debut our most cutting-edge technologies, our highest performance engines, and highest performance powertrain technologies. So it's really the tip of the spear.
Well said. And finally, what plans do you have for the Southern California Acura dealers? That has to be an important part of the sponsorship, the ability to attract customers into their showrooms and ultimately to have them consider buying an Acura. What's the plan for Southern California Acura?
Well, 180,000 people, more or less, are going to associate themselves with the Grand Prix in one form or another, April 12th to 14th. We want them to have an opportunity to see our products, feel our products, talk to our customers, and then go visit a store. And then prior to the race, our 20 dealers are going to be promoting heavily to the customers that visit their stores and give them opportunities to come through.
So there'll be plenty of opportunity for the dealers to latch on to this exciting race, the most popular street race in America, and use it for their own benefit.
Oh, absolutely. Pragmatically speaking, we wanted to find a property in Southern California that essentially supported the businesses of our partners and dealerships. And this was a perfect property because of the synergy between our brand, motorsports, and the Grand Prix, but also because it attracts such a large audience. And one thing that's really special about the Grand Prix of Long Beach is the multicultural audience it attracts. Southern California is a melting pot, and this motorsports property is unique among all motorsports property because of the type of people it attracts. A full 1/3 of our sales today are multicultural sales. So that element of the Grand Prix is something that's attracted to us. It's not just a race, it's a family activity throughout the weekend.
It's a happening.
With concerts, with displays, with all kinds of motorsports. It's a family event. April 12th to 14th, it is the thing to do in Southern California.
Matt, thank you so much for joining us here on Straight Talk, and we'll see you at the race.
Thank you, Art.
Okay, and thank you, and stay with us. Jim Michaelian, you won't want to miss the interview with the man coming up.
And it's a Long Beach thing, it's a G-Funk thing, and it's a P-Funk thing, and it's a B-Funk thing, and it's a Long Beach thing, Beach thing. And it's a Long Beach thing.
At the Port of Long Beach, we're not only delivering jobs, smart ideas, and forward-thinking environmental initiatives. We're also delivering opportunity for all of Southern California. Oh, and a clearer horizon line. To learn more, go to polb.com. The Port of Long Beach, thinking outside the docks.
We're back and continuing our show on the Grand Prix with the man, Jim Michaelian, here for the 45th running, I think, of the race. Jim, welcome back to Straight Talk.
It's always a pleasure coming back and visiting with you every year, Art, and this year especially, since we've got some exciting news, which you've already had a chance to talk to Matt from Acura about. It really has been a exciting 12 months. A lot of transpired over the period of time. As you know, we went out and started looking for a new title sponsor. Something we hadn't done for 39 years.
You roped a winner.
You know, we took our time because we hadn't been in that marketplace, you know, for a number of years, and we looked at various options, whether we wanted to have a non-automotive title sponsor along with an automotive car partner.
Yes. Or
to return back to the same model that we had before, which was to have an automotive sponsor that was both the title and also carried the significance of being the car partner too. And you know, in the end, having looked at various options, we selected the ideal partner for us going forward. You know, Acura, in so many ways, has those characteristics that we were looking for in terms of a real true partnership going forward, and we're very delighted with what's transpired so far.
Well, when I went to the press conference, which is when most of us learned that it was going to be Acura, big smile on my face, because I mentioned in the earlier segment, we're an Acura family as far as driving Acura cars, and I realized immediately what a great fit that is. Let me ask you, how will Acura impact this year's race and the race weekend?
Well, significantly. I mean, as Matt suggested, there's a tremendous amount of energy being reflected both in our organization and their organization. A lot of things are new. They're coming on with some new ideas and new concepts, and we're working together in terms of fulfillment. We are a little compressed in terms of time this year, but one of the beauties of this arrangement is it's a multi-year deal, and we're both working in terms of not only trying to utilize the time frame that we have here, but the understanding that as time goes along, we'll be able to refine it even more in future years. But you know, when you look at the product they have, a premium product, when you look at their involvement with motorsports, which is very important to us, because if we had to bring a whole new company in that wasn't familiar with the idiosyncrasies of what motorsports is all about and how do you really utilize it for whatever their objectives are, that takes a long time. And we didn't have a long time. Acura was there. Their location in Torrance, literally in our backyard, is significant. But most of all, they came with some fresh ideas and some real energizing concepts. And we're looking forward to expanding on this relationship as we go forward in the years to come.
So race weekend will be noticeably different or very similar to past years?
It'll be different in some ways. There'll be a lot of branding for Acura, which you know, obviously replaced Toyota, who were our sponsor, title sponsor for 39 years.
And that was a great relationship.
You know, and
maybe among the longest in sports.
We think it was the longest in motorsports in terms of entitlement. They were with us from the very beginning, and I have nothing but respect for what they did. Their contribution to creating what is now America's #1 street race and the largest street race in the world was super significant, and they, to their credit, they were great partners. But time passes, and this is a new era, and we're looking forward to putting on a lot of the same elements that we have had in the past. The same kind of racing schedule, the same kind of activities, all heightened to a different degree because of the presence of Acura as our title sponsor.
Well, congratulations on finding the right fit. Now, you call it a multi-year contract. Having gone to law school, that could be 2 years or 20 years.
Right.
Any hint of...
And it could well be between those years. But that's what we call a multi-year deal.
Well, in a moment, we'll be talking about race weekend, but just give us one or two of the highlights.
Sure. The racing package is going to be very similar to what we had before. Our fans just love what we put together, the variety that we have in terms of the sights and the sounds and the vehicles. So we'll have 6 races there. We'll have the Indy cars will be there, the sports cars from IMSA and from what was the Pirelli World Challenge, now GT4 America. We have Robbie Gordon coming back with the trucks.
Oh,
and we have drifting on Friday and Saturday night. And then this year, the one thing that we've tried to rotate is the historical race, which over the years has been a Can-Am and a Trans Am. This year, we're featuring GTO cars, IMSA GTO cars. They were the sort of the muscle cars of the 70s and 80 and 90 time frame. And they're going to put on a great show, I know, because there's 32 of them. And they're all clamoring to get out on the circuit, and that'll be on late on Saturday evening. So that the racing component, we're very familiar to people, very similar to what we've had in the past. But then, we've added elements off track too. The Lifestyle Expo will be there, and obviously Acura will have a huge presence both in the arena and in the expo itself. And we have 2 concerts, Friday night with Tree, and Saturday with Cold War Kids and Moon Tower. And so there's a variety of additional activities. The Go Track will be there.
Something for everybody.
The Kids Zone will be there. So, it's a time to come out and enjoy yourself for 3 days.
As we come to the end of this segment, and we'll continue to talk about the race in the next segment, but something Matt said really struck me, and that is the diversity of the attendees of the race. And as you know, Long Beach was tabbed by the Rand Corporation to be the most diverse city in America. So we embody that sense of diversity.
And we've made a judicious effort to continue to attract a variety of various ethnic groups and individuals. We have a kids zone, and we allow children in 12 and under for free. I mean, try that at Disneyland sometime and see how far that gets you. But the intention was to make it very fan-friendly, to make it a family-oriented type of event, and all of those things lead to it. Now, I mentioned Fiesta Friday with Tree. That was a deliberate attempt to reach out to the Spanish community and bring them in and introduce them to the sport and introduce them to the venue, and hopefully, solidify our relationship with them over the years.
Well, we've come to the end of the segment, and we'll be back with more of Jim and the race after these messages.
How do you like your chances the rest of the way?
I got no idea. But I do know that if we stay with Naples Rib Company, at least we won't go hungry. Coach, what do you think about some of those questionable calls tonight?
Yeah, but if you want a sound call, I'd call Naples Rib Company. You can't miss on that call.
Then Naples Rib Company is part of your game plan?
There really is nothing more motivating than a great barbecue meal at Naples Rib Company.
Victory or not, Naples Rib Company, great game plan.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember, Polly's, 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
Phil Trainey's mixes California style with continental cuisine that includes fresh seafood from around the world. Since Phil is the chef, the menu has a wide variety of pastas, salads, soups, and appetizers that feature his unique personal touch. And the Italian-American signature dishes are simply beyond delicious. You never know who you're going to run into at Trainey's, from the famous sports legends on the Wall of Fame to local celebrities having a drink at the bar. For the best fine dining experience, visit Phil Trainey.
We are back. Jim, let's take a look at the race and some of the excitement. Jim, that race is always so exciting to see. What are some of the highlights you'd like to?
And I think that sort of captured the spirit of a lot of a variety of activities, a lot of racing on track, but so many things to do off track. And that's one of the reasons why so many people come back all 3 days, because there's activities to experience and places to go and events to get involved in, that it really keeps you occupied. And again, because there's a variety of things available for kids and for adults to be able to go out and drive, for example, the go-karts to show their lack of driving skill or whatever it might be. Why it's a great opportunity for people to just have a great time. And quite frankly, a lot of our attendees aren't real race car fans and sort of hardcore fans, but we're delighted they come out and enjoy not only what we have to offer, but all the ambiance of what Long Beach has to offer.
Absolutely.
And really, the whole intention there is to be able to entice those people to come back other times during the year and enjoy what Long Beach, has been able to provide over there.
And let's just give a tip of the hat to the Committee of 300, whose volunteers, the Redcoats, help make the weekend successful.
Sure, and then they are certainly ambassadors, not only of our race, but of the city itself. And they have the Club C300, which is a real happening place. It takes place up behind Grandstand 24 in the hairpin turn, and is a great gathering point for a lot of people during the weekend. And also, they're the ones that communicate a lot of what the spirit and the feeling about the event is to our customers.
Well, I always admire the way you are able to add something fresh each year, and they know what they're getting, but there's always something new.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why we're excited to work with a lot of our sponsor partners in terms of bringing in additional elements that are intriguing to our customers, whether they're Instagram moments or participatory activities. No matter what it is, we want our people to be able to really enjoy themselves when they're here for the week.
Well, this may be a little poetic, but I think this relationship between Acura and the Grand Prix is kind of a match made in heaven.
Well, we certainly feel that way, and the first indications are that we're going to have a really strong and effective partnership going forward. And most important of all, that Acura will realize what their goals and objectives are through their involvement with the Grand Prix. And we, by the same token, will do the same.
Both sides need to be happy for a partnership to work.
It's not called a marriage for nothing. That's true.
Okay, we'll be back with the rest of our show after these messages.
Founded in 1976, Paulie's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Paulie's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree, when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember, Paulie's, 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
At Performance Plus Tire, you'll find we carry Toyo tires. For over 50 years, Toyo has been a world leader in the development of high-quality tires. Optimum performance, safety, and a comfortable ride. That's what makes Toyo tires great. And now come into Performance Plus Tire for a great deal on these Toyo tires. Proxys ST, Open Country AT, and Proxys 4. Toyo tires, driven to perform. Come in today and we'll install new Toyo tires on your vehicle while you wait. Performance Plus Tire on Cherry Avenue, 1 mile north of the 405 in Long Beach.
There's a world of opportunity available through the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach. Would you like to move ahead in the field of human resources and personnel management? Sign up for the Human Resources Management Certificate Program. You'll learn how to expand your knowledge and skills and advance in this dynamic industry. For more information, contact the College of Continuing and Professional Education at Cal State Long Beach.
I think Long Beach is very fortunate having Jim and the Grand Prix as part of our community for the last 45 years. He's been with it since the beginning of the race, and the race brings in $30 million to the city and the community, and is seen throughout the land. So final thoughts, Jim.
Well, obviously, this year is the beginning of a new era, a new feeling, a new intensity, and we're very delighted to have Acura on board. But we're going to continue to do what we've done over these last 44 years, which is deliver a quality product to the city of Long Beach, to all of the residents here, and to all of the patrons that have come and visited and enjoyed the atmosphere at the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. And we're going to deliver in that regard again this year.
That has a nice ring to it, the Acura Grand Prix of Long Beach. Thank you for joining us for this great show, and please be with us next week for the next edition of Straight Talk. Good night, everyone.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by the Port of Long Beach, the Press Telegram, and Scan Health Plan. And remember, Straight Talk is viewable 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.